Welcome to Contemporary Black Voices, where we take on the most important issues confronting Black America. Today's topic is GEDit College. Today, we have two guests who will educate us on the concept of online learning with the courses offered at GEDit. They will tell us how this program is to be used and by whom. Our two guests, Dr. Linda Taylor, is the Executive Director, and Dr. Carol Miller is the Executive Administrator of GEDit. GEDit is a convenient and affordable way for students to ascertain new skills needed in today's world. I'm told this is a higher level of program of education than the traditional academic environment. The program is capable of being accessed worldwide, and the students can range from adolescents to seniors. We will find out today who GEDit is for, the cost, and the benefits of the program. To discuss this topic is New York Times bestselling author Caleb Alexander, the lovely Dr. Sharon Michael Chadwell, and the writer Fred is still out on assignment. I'm Chris Dawkins, and I'll be your host for today. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to Black Video Network, or BVN, on YouTube. Now let's get into our topic. I'd like to welcome both Dr. Taylor and Dr. Miller to us. Dr. Taylor, can you begin to tell us how this college first started, and is it a franchise?
Yes, the college started, I was teaching at a college in Orlando, Florida. The course that I was teaching was GED, General Education Development. So with the students, I found out that many of the students was not passing the test, the state exam. However, I decided to create my own courses where the students can easily pass the test. So in the college, it was very strict of how the students to study. But I came up with another curriculum where the students were likely to study much better. And that's how it started. So the beginning of it, my heart was to develop the courses online. So I am an online course developer, and that's what I do. And so I develop every course that is needed on that test. And so I found out a lot of the students were passing the tests, and that's where GEDit came in.
And how'd you get involved, Ms. Miller?
Well, I was also a colleague of Dr. Taylor's at a particular college in Orlando, where we taught for over 10 years, 20 years together. And I was always taught the course that was called College Success. And College Success is basically a preparatory college for those students who came in that did not have the knowledge and skills to be successful in all of their courses. So I taught note-taking, test-taking, online terminology, and all those things that were, test taking is the main thing, and all those courses and all those skills that are important for students to be at one level and to rise to the level to be successful in any course they decide to pursue.
Okay. Did you have any questions?
So I went to the website and I'm kind of confused. Now, is that someone's name, or is the program more structured for students going for their GED?
GEDit? GEDit is actually initial for General Education Development, International Technology.
Okay.
And so we put it together as GEDit.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all it is. These courses are developmental courses that is constructed on community crisis. That's what they are. So we develop courses, anything that's issues in the community, or we feel that students are really struggling, we develop the courses for them. That's what GEDit is.
Give an example of a course.
Example, here's one main course, mental health. we realize, I say, research says about 29 to 49% of students has mental health issues. That's one of the main courses that we have developed. So mental health, and we could go on and on about mental health, so that's a long story about the mental health. But we found out that mental health is the cause, mental health illness is the cause of students not retaining. Most of them get suspended. Okay, most of them are homeless, all because of mental health illness. So that's where GEDit comes in. We come in and we have a psychologist that's live, that will talk to the students when it comes to any subject that they're weak on.
So let me ask this. You brought up mental health.
Yes.
I've got a son who I think has a mental health issue. He definitely ain't gonna go to and decide to take a course on his own because he thinks he's okay. So my question is how do you get people, or what type of people would be the people to take that particular course?
Well, it's most of the students are low-level students, and those are the students. And a lot of the students doesn't have, it's the thought process. So the thought process is negativity. So that's where we come in to encourage. We even got a professor that's in St. Louis is developing a course that's confident. Have confidence in what you're doing. So that's what we do. That's what it's all about. It's encouraging students. We have instructors in Orlando, Florida, and which will encourage the students as they go along and taking the courses.
Now, when you talk about the actual course and you talk about having instructors, is the course that they sign up for online, is that done self-propelled, or is that done by a instructor?
It's done by instructor, and Dr. Miller, you can really go further with that.
Okay, Dr. Taylor. I just want to preface this with the fact that in all of our courses, we have built into, after we do the intro, is to do an assessment. So we do an assessment to find out where that student is with regard to the subject, like she was talking about, their mental health. And for my courses, my expertise is in vocabulary. I am an etymologist, so I find that besides their mental issues, most students have very incomplete vocabulary skills. So I've done considerable research on that, and one of the things that I always encourage my students to do, that are actually in courses and have some electives that they could take, is to take a course on Latin, because 70 to 80% of the English language is made out of Latin root words. So I incorporate that in all of my courses and my college success courses. And basically, for about 10 or 15 minutes, excuse me, I allow them to actually use their cell phone, so they're really glad about that. But I give them a group of the root words, and the area that I use, or the text that I use, is the 100 most used root words that all college students should know. And I found that out to be very, very successful, because in the beginning, of course, they don't want to do it, but we'll do like maybe 10 words a week. And what happens is at the end of the semester is when they really feel the success of it, because their vocabulary has gone from maybe knowing, I'd say as an example, 10,000 words. When they get finished with my course, their vocabulary has expanded to 100,000. And that is after using my own personal time, like years, to actually find out about vocabulary. Most of these students, no matter what course they're in, because I had a lot of medical students, I had a lot of nurses, doctors, or what have you, and excuse me, My task was to instill in them a good vocabulary. So once you get that vocabulary, and I talk to them each week. Okay, so now you've learned those words. Now you can actually work for NASA. You can work for the federal government or whatever career that you want to pursue. That could be the law, jurisprudence, or what have you. And you will not have the extra. Let's put it like this. One of my degrees was in accounting. So I had to open up those books and I would start reading about different terminology, the buzzwords, and I had to stop and go into the dictionary and see what it meant. So once they understand, and that goes all across the board, both nationally and internationally, once they understand the very root words, they may not be able to understand the exact term, but they'll have a real good basis in order to understand the whole context of what they're reading.
Dr. Miller, I want to stick a pin in it right there. We're going to take a break and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how you begin to get and recruit your students and how they become a part of that. And we're going to bring Caleb Alexander back on, and we'll be right back with you.
Okay, no problem.